Hi, I'm Rocky Thompson with Specialty Archery. Today we're going to show you how to take one of our 007 lighted sights with the use of our 007 fiber kit and install that on one of our Specialty Archery scope housings. I've got a VersaScope 3D here that we're going to use for the demonstration. This installation method will work on all Specialty Archery scopes as well as most other manufacturers' scope housings. One of them that is a little different is the Excel scope housing, and I'll show you that later. Okay? So let's get into it. Okay, so what we have here is our VersaScope 3D with a glow pin installed, and in this case this is a 20 thousandths green fiber in here. We don't need our 007 kit right now, but we will need the parts and components of our 007 fiber kit. So if we open this up, you'll see a few goodies in here. We have clear fiber in 10, 20, and 30 thousandths diameter. And in this case, since we're doing the 20, we just need the 20 thou fiber right there. You'll see some protective shroud in there with an adapter. And also on that adapter, you're going to see a rubber compression washer. Actually, we can take this apart because we'll need it for the assembly of our unit here. Also, you're going to find a clamp and a bolt. In this case, this is a 1032 bolt, which is used to mount all Specialty Archery scopes. So you can set that off to the side, grab the components here. And then to aid in the mounting of your 007 fiber kit, a pair of sharp scissors is handy, the appropriate sized Allen wrench for your scope, and most importantly is a pair of long needle nose pliers. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the existing green fiber out of this scope housing. So to do that, we're just going to run that out. Take the shroud off the bottom here and push and then pull out the green fiber. And you can set those components off to the side because you will not need those anymore. Also, I had another shroud holder on the top of this scope. We do not need that at this point either, so we'll take that out. Okay, so now we're going to take our clear fiber, and in the kit you'll get 8 inches of clear fiber. You're probably not going to need all 8 inches, but you have plenty there for any application that you might have. So what we're going to do is start by feeding this clear fiber through the pin and then pull it out the bottom, but do not pull it all the way. Another thing you're going to need is a lighter. What you want to do is melt or bulge the very end of the clear fiber. You do not want the flame to touch the fiber because that will diminish how bright the light is after we hook it all up. So I'm just going to take this and just barely heat it up so it just creates a small bulge on the fiber. Let it cool for a second, and then you can pull that until it's seated on top of the glow pin. Okay? Then what we're going to do is take our protective shroud, and we're going to run that on to the clear fiber. It should go on very easy. If it hangs up at all, you can slightly spin the protective shroud in your fingers and it'll glide right on. So then what we're going to do is run it through the protective shroud holder there and pull that just till it's snug. You don't want to pull it tight and pinch off the fiber on the bottom of the scope housing. The next thing we're going to do is run our adapter down onto the protective shroud and the clear fiber that's in it now. And this is where your pliers are going to come in handy. Take your rubber compression O-ring there and run it onto a pair of needle nose pliers. Then you can spread that out like that and run the clear protective shroud through that and then pull that down onto your protective shroud close to the clamp there, and then run that down into the adapter. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of eyeball where this clamp is going to sit on my scope housing, and it's going to be right about there, just like that. So now what I'm going to do is set that back onto the protective shroud and grab my scissors, and I'm going to clip this off fairly close to that rubber O-ring compression washer there and snip it off. Now when I run that up, it'll all seat down into that adapter very nicely, like so. Then I'm going to take my clamp And just run the bolt through it till it holds it onto the adapter like that, and then tighten it down on top of my scope housing. Just like that. So now I can take my 007 lighted sight, screw it on to the adapter, like so. And now when I turn that on, get it just like that, I can switch through all the 7 different colors. So here we have our 007 lighted sight hooked up to our Versus scope. I do want to mention this is not the only location where you have to mount the sight to. It can be mounted off to the side. If you were running a down pin, the light could come out the bottom. This is just one way to do it. However, this mounting procedure works for all of Specialty Archery scope housings. Here we have it mounted on our 1 3/8" scope housing, 1 5/8" scope housing, and I should mention that the clamp and bolt does not get mounted to the scope itself. It gets mounted to the glow ring, which you would need to mount a pin in it. Super D scope housing. And here we have a CBE scope housing. Runs the same way, clear fiber and shroud out the bottom to the clamp. And I should note that this does take a different bolt than what is included in a fiber kit. However, I do believe that their bolt is included with their pin. Same thing with the Shroud scope. Replace the colored fiber with our clear fiber, run it around to a location on their housing where you can put their bolt through to hold the clamp. The one that is a little bit different is the Excel scope housing, and I'm going to show you this one next. So here we have our Excel scope housing, and in this case this is their 31 millimeter X31. What you do is you take their glow ring, remove all of the colored fiber from it, and replace it with the clear fiber out of the fiber kit. Simply run the fiber down, out the bottom, and out the side of the ring like so. Then what you're going to do is take the fiber and run it through their mounting hole, or through the hole in the scope rod, seat the glow pin down, replace the rings, and the lens retention ring. Now I should note when you do this that the fiber is going to extend out much further past than what I have shown here. What you want to do is clip the fiber off just so it extends about 1/8 of an inch past the end of their scope rod. Take the Excel adapter, and out of the fiber kit, I'll move that out of the way so we can see. There's the Excel adapter right there. We have a short piece of shroud about 1.5 inches long, and I've installed it on the rubber compression ring that's included in the 007 fiber kit. Take these 2 pieces, mount them together like that. Then you're going to take the end of that protective shroud and run the clear fiber through the middle of it like so, and screw that down. Now take our 007 light and screw that on to the Excel adapter, and you are ready to go. Just like that. And you can scroll through all the colors. I'm Rocky Thompson with Specialty Archery. Thanks for watching our video.